Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new here to my channel, my name is India. Please be sure to subscribe. We're in a new location today. I moved. It's exciting. Condo tour coming very, very soon your way. This will not be the background of my videos from here on out. I just don't have anything in my room yet. I don't even have the heat turned on yet, which is why I'm wearing this very thick sweater because it's freezing in here. So bear with me today. But I hope you guys are excited about this video. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Let's get started. Alright guys, so just jumping on in, this video is all about how to find a sexy man of God. I definitely think that the two do not have to be separated. I think that you can be a sexy man and also love Jesus Christ. So that's what this video is going to be about, how to find that person, how to attract that person. Let's go ahead and jump on in. First and foremost, I personally believe one of the most important things in finding a sexy man of God is being a sexy woman of God yourself. I definitely think that if you're looking for a man who spends daily time with God, you yourself need to be spending daily time with God. If you're looking for a man who goes to church every Sunday, you should be going to church every Sunday too. If you're looking for someone who doesn't curse, you yourself shouldn't be cursing. I definitely think it's important to portray with your actions, with your words, what you yourself are looking for. If you're walking around cursing up a storm and you don't share and spread the love of Jesus Christ, that sexy man of God out there is certainly not going to find you awesome or attractive and want to be with you. So I definitely think that you should project and be what you want in your man, if that makes sense. We have had a slight change in background due to some unforeseen circumstances. However, we will now proceed with our regular scheduled program. Thank you. All right, now this next tip or trick has to do with where you are spending most of your time. For instance, if every night of the week or weekend you are going out to bars, clubs with friends till 4 a.m., I definitely think it's possible, but I do think that it's highly unlikely for you to find that godly man that you're looking for there. I think it is far more likely for you to meet him at a bookstore or through some quality mutual friends or at church or things of that nature. And I'm by no means saying that you shouldn't ever go to a bar or you shouldn't ever go to a club, because I love to go out and grab drinks with friends from time to time, and I think that there's nothing wrong with that personally. But I do think that as humans, we can start to reflect what we surround ourselves with, and if you are spending a large amount of your free time at the clubs till 4 a.m., I think that it can kind of rub off on you. You can start to reflect that lifestyle and just not really find that person, not find the person you're looking for, maybe meet the wrong person, and I just think it's something to be cautious of. Now next I want to talk with you about trusting in God's perfect timing. I think this one is a lot easier said than done, but it's definitely very important. I know that God has carried me through different situations. I'm sure that God has carried you through a lot of different circumstances as well. And if he can get you through that, rest assured, honey, he can get you a man. It's not that hard. So just know that it just must not be the right timing, just trust. If you're able to trust God with your job, trust him with your finances, trust him with X, Y, and Z, be able to trust him with this, and know and understand that his timing is perfect and it's always right. We serve a big God, and he knows what's best for us, truly. So don't rush it. Don't just jump into a relationship with someone even if it's not the right person and it's just not right, you don't feel good about it. Don't rush into a relationship just because you feel like you need someone. Trust that God has someone for you right around the corner. So really just trusting God with your singleness, trusting him in that time, understanding and recognizing that he's working on you during that time. He's molding you and sculpting you to be the person he wants you to be, so that when that person does come into your life, everything works wonderfully. A book that I wanted to mention to you guys is by Ben Stewart. It's called Single, Dating, Engaged, Married. I actually bought it for my boyfriend and I to read together. I love Ben Stewart. He's great. Highly recommend checking him out on YouTube or the internet, you know. He's a great speaker. He's spoken at my church a couple of times. So my boyfriend read this book first, and then I'm going to read it next, and we'll kind of discuss it together. But there is a chapter of the book on singleness and really giving that time to God. So let's talk about that next. I definitely think that God wants us to use that time, use your single time to work on yourself. Use that time to volunteer at your church, to volunteer at a homeless shelter, make great, wonderful friendships, spend time with your mom, you know, just like work on who you are as a person, figuring out who you are, spending that daily time with Jesus, really getting connected and plugged into your local church. Things of that nature I think is very important to really take advantage of during that single time. I think that's something the book touches on a lot. Once again, great book. Highly recommend. Next, I want to talk about really becoming a whole person prior to getting into a relationship. What I mean by this is fully being confident in yourself, fully loving yourself, and not feeling like you need a man to complete you. Because no man is going to complete you. He's only human, you know. You need to get your relationship right with God first, who is the only one who can complete you. Get that relationship right first, and then you can try to forge on into new relationships and things of that nature. So I highly recommend, first and foremost, becoming complete in Jesus Christ, and then looking for a man. Okay? Now this next tip or trick is actually from my boyfriend, Daniel. I've never personally done this, but we talked on the phone before filming this video. He gave me this suggestion to mention to you guys and said that it has worked really well for him. So I did want to share it with you guys because I thought it was interesting. So what he did was, before dating me, dating other people, whatever, wrote a list of key quality characteristics that he's looking for in his future girlfriend, his future spouse type thing. I don't know what's on his list, honestly. I'm gonna have to ask him about that later. But I would highly recommend getting a list, writing down on a piece of paper, things that you're looking for, not like physical characteristics or things like that. I mean, having someone you're attracted to is important, but just some key qualities that you are not compromising on. You know what I mean? So, Christian, if that's something you do not want to compromise on, write it on down. Honest, trustworthy, fun-loving, things of that nature. I wouldn't write a list, 10 miles long, because you will never find someone that meets all of those. But just the key points that you really aren't going to compromise on. He was saying that, when he would meet a new girl, like before me, it's easy to get kind of wrapped up and excited, like, oh, she's so cute, she's so fun, we have a good time together. But then when he goes to pull out that list, he's like, but she doesn't love the Lord. But I don't know if our core values really do line up. So just really figuring out what those things are that you're not going to compromise on. Because realistically, you're not going to be able to change the person. I think that's very important for people to realize. I think it happens. I think it can happen. But if he's not a Christian before you get married, he's probably not going to be a Christian after you get married. So I think you should love him for who he is then and there. People change and evolve over time, sure. But those key core values often don't sway too terribly much. So I do recommend not compromising on those things, not swaying. And if you go to your list, really try to evaluate if that person is matching up. Okay, last but certainly not least, this one is a little bit out there, a little bit odd, but something that I do think is important. On our very first date, I told Daniel that I was looking for a husband. I wasn't looking to mess around. I wasn't looking to just date for fun. Wasn't looking to just have a good time for a couple months. I'm looking for a husband. The end goal for me personally in dating is always marriage. And if I don't think or see a marriage coming from it in the long run, I exit. So, now I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing this on the first date. I think that's a little bit intense, but that's just kind of my personality. I speak my mind, and I was just like, hey, nice to meet you. By the way, looking for a husband, not someone to play around with. So maybe don't do that, but like, just make it clear what your end goal is at some point early on, so that the person realizes how serious you are, and that you're not just there to play games. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a couple dates in would be best. I talked to Daniel about this the other day. He said it was very, very intense for me to do that on the first date. Wouldn't recommend that to other people, but maybe a couple dates in, that's something to mention. So yeah, learn from my mistakes. All right, guys, that's everything. I hope that you enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Just know that I'm not perfect. Everything that I said you might not agree with. That's totally fine, but let's definitely start an open conversation dialogue down below. Let me know, like, what tips and tricks you think there are to finding a godly man that you can spend your life with. Let's all help each other out in the comments down below, and please be sure to subscribe. It helps me out so much. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you for your patience with me with all this moving drama, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.